I, 23-year-old female, told my mother, 47-year-old female, I wish she died instead of my dad. My father passed away a few weeks ago unexpectedly, seemingly perfect health, no complications, just a sudden heart attack while driving home from work. He got off the highway safely, but the paramedics didn't reach him in time. My siblings and I cried in each other's arms for days and then lived in hell on earth until the funeral. I never saw my mother cry or even show a shred of grief. I assumed that she was just trying to be strong for her children. There was no way she wasn't hurting after the death of the love of her life. The funeral was last Saturday. I watched everyone shed a tear except for my mother. Still, I brushed it off as nothing. Afterwards, my siblings and I decided to take time off of work, school to stay with our mother and comfort each other. One night, I came home late from the bar, a little intoxicated, and stumbled to the bathroom to take a shower. I walked into my mother's bedroom for some pajamas, since we are the same size in clothes. When I opened the door, I found her in bed with a man I didn't recognize, wearing a lingerie set I also had never seen. It was very obvious what they were doing. I stood there, mortified. They were going at it so hard they didn't even see me walk in. When I heard my mother say, "You do it so much better than John," John was my father, I ran out and slammed the door behind me. I then packed my bags and drove back to my apartment. Now I'm being spammed with texts and calls from my mother as well as my siblings, all of which are calling me an idiot for leaving them after the death of our father, as well as defending my mother, saying she was just coping. I responded to my younger sister only and said that if her or any of my siblings want to meet me, they can, but I won't be in contact with my mother, since she seems too busy replacing the man who died 2 weeks ago. I then blocked my mother on everything. A couple days later, my mother came to my apartment wanting to talk. I unwillingly let her in. She started apologizing and making excuses for what she did. I told her to save it and that I wasn't falling for anything. I said I was disgusted with how she could sleep with other men mere days after her husband's funeral, and that I wished it was her in that casket instead. She started crying and I kicked her out. It's now been 5 days and I haven't been in contact with her or any of my siblings. Am I the idiot? Now, here are the comments. Comment 1. Not the idiot. Frankly, it's disgusting your mother taunts a dead man like that, especially if it was your father. Block your mother. Tell your siblings the full extent of how she is coping, and if they still defend her, block them too. Just because they are family doesn't mean they should get to humiliate your dead dad like this. Comment 2. Not the idiot. You're allowed to have feelings about what your mom did. I personally don't blame you. You can't unring the bell, and you are not responsible for making your mother feel better. For right now, do what you have to. Comment 3. I'm very sorry for your loss. I read the title and thought for sure you were going to be TA, but nope. That was rather tasteless on your mom's part, particularly with you staying at the house. Now for the next story. Some important information. I moved to another state and left a good job to be with my fiancé. We bought a house and he lived in it for a month before I moved to the state. At 4:47 p.m. tonight, I received a text from my fiancé's aunt, mother's best friend forever that has latched to the family for decades, which read, "Hello, I need to know exactly who you want invited to the bridal shower on Saturday, September 30th. I am in charge of invitations. Need exact count today by midnight, names and addresses, today. I am planning a wedding with no help. I am constantly in a state of tears from the stress. My fiancé works 13-hour days, and I am not close with anyone else here. I did not ask for them to throw this party. They were doing it out of the kindness of their heart. I was truly moved until tonight. I had already sent this information to my future sister-in-law, but when I stated that, I got told that she has washed her hands of the party. These women have disrespected me multiple times since I moved here. His mother set up my entire house and didn't freaking clean anything first, despite me asking her not to. His aunt harvested my entire garden prematurely when I never asked her to touch my garden. His mother killed my plants because she felt like watering them. I never asked her to. So after feeling fully disrespected for the last 4 months, I kinda lost it. I responded to her texts with, "So I think I've washed my hands of this too. I'll spend this weekend with people who respect me because obviously through this text exchange, I've learned some new things. Please do not text me again. My mom and aunt will be in town, so I'm just going to spend it with them." But now I feel like a jerk. I could have just canceled it without sending that text, but on the other side, I need to end the disrespect before I'm married to this man. Now, here are the comments. Comment 1. Not really an idiot. It sounds like they are rude and overbearing. They have no respect. It's just something they have to do. They know on their side who they should invite. They could have contacted your fiancé or your mother for who else should be invited from your side. Giving you a midnight deadline is rude and like you have nothing else going on. I think it's good you spoke up now. Otherwise, it will get worse over time. Can't your fiancé speak to his family? He needs to really speak up for you. Comment 2. Why did the sister-in-law wash her hands of the party planning? What's going on that you are not being made aware of? That washing her hands bit is a bit symptomatic of annoyance. Why? You need to find out why the sister-in-law bailed because it looks like the aunt might have gotten roped in against her will and was annoyed about it and was showing you who is boss or something. Are they talking behind your back, do you think? Comment 3. Well, I think they deserved it, but you also need more communication with them. You need boundaries that you explain to them, and if they keep disrespecting you, then cut them off for sure. Spend the time with people you love and then explain to the others what they can and can't do with your property and time. Now, for the next story. So I, 22-year-old, F, mom, 49-year-old, brother, 24-year-old, and sister-in-law, 23-year-old, went to run errands together, and on the way we stopped at a taco shop. It was only supposed to be my mom getting fajita nachos, but I said I wanted something, and my brother replied, "With what money?" I said never mind because I had not gotten paid yet. My brother and sister-in-law went inside to get my mom's food while I waited in the truck with my mom, and when they came back, I noticed they had 3 plates. One for my mom, one for sister-in-law, and one for my brother, but nothing for me. I haven't spoken to them since because I feel that it's unfair that when I go and buy food, I get everybody something and don't ask for money back. My mom tried to talk to me, but I ended up ignoring her, and she got an attitude and asked me what's my problem. I snapped and told her why I was pissed, and she said it's no big deal, and if I wanted something, I should have bought my own stuff and to stop being an ass over something so small. I just feel that it's unfair and inconsiderate of them to not buy me anything. Am I the idiot? Eat it. I just wanted to add that I only wanted 1 taco. I didn't want a meal because I get full fast. 1 taco cost $2.19. Now, here are the comments. Comment 1. You get labeled an ass for being upset over something small, but your mom couldn't just buy you the small thing and make you happy. You're not the idiot. Grown-ass adults sniping over fricking tacos is petty as hell. I'm sorry that you have been on the receiving end of basic inconsiderate behavior. Comment 2. Not the idiot, OP. You aren't wrong, that was pretty cold. Especially of your mom. Going forward, I'd be not bringing any food back for those 3, as they did say you should spend your own money if you want food. So just apply the same to them. They want something, they can go get it or have it delivered. Comment 3. Not the idiot, your family won't be getting anything from you going forward. And if brother wants babysitting, it's full professional babysitting rates. Now, for the next story. My wife and I work at the same company. One of the employees almost rolled a vehicle. I was told this by another supervisor to inform me of the situation. He also specifically asked me not to say anything to anyone. I didn't. Later, my wife found out from another employee about the situation and is giving me the gears for not telling her. I consider this information divulged in this manner to be gossip. However, I'm being scolded along the lines of, John told Brittany about it and he was asked not to, another couple with supervisor and employee status. I see how it is. I'm not just a coworker. They tell each other everything. Etc. Am I the idiot for not saying anything? Edit. For clarification, she does not tell secrets either. I think this was just seen as a lack of trust on my part. I do consider her entirely trustworthy. Now, here are the comments. Comment 1. If you didn't work at the same company, I'd say no harm telling her about work. Who cares about some random people named Lisa or Josh and their info? But the fact she works at the same company could cause you problems if you are in management and divulge personal information about colleagues. You did the right thing. Not the idiot. Keep the confidentiality. Tell your wife to grow up. Comment 2. Not the idiot. Your wife just proved it. Another supervisor was unprofessional and told his wife, who was not a supervisor, who in turn told another employee, your wife, who is also not a supervisor. Your wife and the other supervisor's wife are the problem. Comment 3. Not the idiot. This just falls under the whole married umbrella. My wife gets mad at me for similar things. If I am told don't tell anyone, I don't. I have friends who are different. That's just how some couples are. Now, for the next story. I, 27-year-old female, married, have a friend, 37-year-old male, also married. We get along fairly well, and I would go over to their house every so often for board game nights. His wife would join us for a bit, but then drop off and do her own thing later on. Neither of us mind, as it's a regular occurrence for her. Last year, we had been talking about all going to the gym together since we had all fallen out of shape after the pandemic. Specifically, I want gym buddies so I can keep my training commitment easier. I won't go for myself, but I won't flake on friends. We make it a regular habit, 3 or 4 days a week, with one of my days being with a personal trainer. A few months go by and she starts to drop off going regularly, maybe only once a week. Then she starts acting distantly whenever I'm around. Finally, I get a message from my friend saying that we have to stop going together because she thinks we're cheating. We both know it's not true, but he's not willing to start a fight with his wife about it because he loves her and he'd rather keep her happy. I don't begrudge him his choice, and I agree that his marriage is more important than a friendship. But I am very upset at her for accusing both me and her husband of infidelity, especially since she had not bothered to talk to me about it at all, despite being my friend for years now. Since then, I've basically been both cut out of their life, and it hurts whenever I hear about get-togethers they plan that I am no longer being invited to. Jarringly, though, she still attempts to talk to me as if nothing ever happened, and I refuse to play along. I'm not really going to associate with her anymore until I get an apology. Am I the idiot for holding on to the grudge even months after it's happened? Now, here are the comments. Comment 1. Not the idiot. She sounds like a person you shouldn't trust. She busted up a good friendship even though she was included in it and could accompany you two, but chose not to. You are no longer invited to their parties and are cut out of their lives. And yet she wants to pretend that nothing happened, never go along with people hurting you and then pretending that nothing happened. There's a great novella by Lionel Shriver, The Standing Chandelier *. It's about exactly this kind of situation. You might enjoy reading it. Comment 2. If you haven't already, you need to tell her why you are not responding and leave it at that. She can't play both sides. She doesn't get to take that back. Total insecurity that won't go away. Guarantee they will have issues related to her insecurity for the rest of her life, if they stay together that long. Comment 3. Not the idiot, but I can't say she is either. You don't know why she thought that or what her husband's behavior away from you was like. Perhaps just ask her why she thought that way. Do so in a calm and non-judgmental way. You may be surprised by her answer. It may not have been about you and more about her husband. Now, for the next story. My, female, 15, dad and my aunt both own a house. He and I live in the house with my aunt and her family. There are 4 bedrooms in the house. One is my dad's, one is my aunt's and uncle's, one is mine. The last one is shared by my 2 cousins, female 12 and male 10. My girl cousin just got her period, so now my aunt thinks she's too old to share a bedroom with her brother, so now she wants me to share my bedroom with her. They were in here earlier, trying to figure out how they were going to set the room up for us. I don't want to share a bedroom. I like having my own private place. My aunt actually tried to get us to share when we all first moved in a few years ago, but my dad said I didn't have to because I'm older. My aunt says the situation is different now and I need to share. She told me to think about how awkward it would be to go through puberty in the same room as my boy cousin. I think it's different, though, because he's not my brother, and I've never shared a room with him before, so it's easier for her than it would be for me. Also, since my dad owns 50% of the house, I think we should get to have 50% of the rooms and keep things how they are. I can't talk to my dad about it until tomorrow because he's away right now and probably already asleep, but I think he'll be on my side about it. Now, here are the comments. Comment 1. Not the idiot, I don't get all the, you're the idiot. OP doesn't have to share. The aunt needs to think of a solution, not OP. OP has a right to her own room. I get it, poor cousin who just started her period, but the aunt knew this day was coming. She should have prepared for it or have tried to ease up into the idea of sharing. She can't force OP to share because that's what's best for her children. Comment 2. Does the house have a basement or an attic that can be converted to a bedroom? Is there a den with a door on it that can be used? An enclosed porch can be insulated and heat put in. It will add value to the house. Your aunt could pay a greater part of the cost if a space is converted to a room her child would enjoy alone. Comment 3. Everyone sucks here. Not the idiot because it's your dad's house, etc., but you're the idiot because don't you feel bad that your cousin has to share with her little brother? It must be so uncomfortable for her. Is she annoying? A horrible person? I get wanting your own room, but you've had it for years. Don't you have any compassion for your cousin? If you liked this video, you'll probably like these too. Also, while you're here, please consider subscribing. It's your support that keeps this channel alive and allows me to make better and longer videos. Have a great day!